Thousands of people are pulled over by law enforcement every single day. But when those blue lights come on, do you know your rights? Can you be placed in handcuffs without them saying you're under arrest? If you're not under arrest, are you free to go? Can you question the police? Tonight, I break down the crucial and often confusing difference between being detained and being arrested and what you can do to ensure your own safety.
You said I'm not. Am I under arrest? What is this? What is your name? You said, am I under arrest? What am I under arrest for? What am I under arrest? But what am I?
You're gonna be dog bait.
I'm recording.
Put your hands behind your back.
But what am I being under arrest for?
Put your hands behind your back.
I'm just asking questions,
Put your hands
sir.
behind your back.
What am I doing? What are y'all doing?
Put your hands behind your back. Do it now.
I'm under arrest. Am I under arrest?
You're being detained.
For what?
Put your hands behind your back.
For what?
It started as a traffic stop for expired tags and ended with Rashad Abdullah face down on the road. It may look disturbing, but lawyers I talk to say if an officer says put your hands behind your back, you have to do it. Now, Abdullah is facing felony charges of resisting arrest. Do you feel that's an appropriate charge?
No, I wasn't resisting arrest. You can see on the video that I wasn't resisting arrest, just simply asking questions. Even in those videos, I was treated nasty, but I still was positive. I still was respectful to them. But it's just with them, they get irate and they get angry and abuse power for no reason.
Put your hands
behind your back.
At least 3 times in this video, Abdullah was told to put his hands behind his back.
I'm under arrest.
We hear him ask 4 times if he was under arrest. Then finally, a voice informs him,
Being detained.
but what does that mean? Clearly, he's not free to go, but is he under arrest? Attorney Stephen Futerall says for most people, there is a very thin line between being detained and being arrested.
And in a regular person's mind, if I'm handcuffed, I'm arrested. They're not lawyers. They don't understand the distinction between detention and arrest. Nobody would understand that unless they had a law degree or they were a law enforcement officer or a judge.
So here's the breakdown, according to Futerall. To arrest you, police have to have probable cause to charge you with a crime. Your Miranda rights must be read to you. You'll most likely be placed into handcuffs. You will be taken to jail and formally charged. They must tell you why you're being arrested. If they do not, under South Carolina law, that officer could be charged with a felony. But to detain you, the police just have to have a reasonable suspicion that a crime has occurred. You are not free to go, but at this time you are not under arrest. And the whole "you have the right to remain silent" phrase you see on TV, they don't have to read you your Miranda rights because at this time you are not under arrest. You can be handcuffed for the safety of the officer, and what's more, if you're just being detained, they don't even have to tell you why. It seems like any officer can just go around willy-nilly detaining people.
So on the one hand, the answer is, yeah, it would seem that if an officer wanted to do so, they could sort of, and I'm not saying these officers did it, but they could manufacture reasons or no reasons at all to detain somebody and start investigating things with no reasonable articulable suspicion that a crime is being committed.
Because the burden is so low, or the standard is so low on detaining someone, an officer could question the individual and get information that can be used against them in the court of law and do so legally and not violate their rights, so to speak.
Yeah, and that's one of the downfalls of the differences between detainment and arrest, because they could do that.
South Carolina State Senator for District 42, Deon Tedder, says he would like to see legislation passed that would take away any ambiguity surrounding police encounters.
One of the things we could do is mandate that if an officer pulls somebody over, if they're going to detain them, they have to, 1, inform them that they're being detained, 2, tell them why they're being detained, and then 3, let them know whether or not they're free to leave.
Tedder, also an attorney, says citizens need to know their rights and also when to exercise them. He recommends not trying to fight your case on the roadside where the cop is king. Instead, he says, doing all the right things during the traffic stop can improve your chances of fighting any injustice in court. But he warns standing on your constitutional rights can come with unwanted consequences.
But I think there's a way to do that, remain respectful and say, look, I'm not answering any questions. I've done nothing wrong. But you have to know that by doing that, what could happen, they could just arrest you and charge you with something. And now you go, you have a night in jail, bond hearing the next morning. You didn't do anything, but, for some people, it's not worth it because you could lose your job, lose a scholarship for students that are in school just because you were simply charged with something. And then the backlog in the court system, it may be, 6-7 months before you even get it resolved.
But what am I being under arrest for?
But in those moments when an officer perceives it as you being aggressive or obstructing them, particularly in that video, when he was tackled to the ground, I think that was unnecessary. He was not moving. He was standing still. There was no need to take him to the ground. Perhaps maybe just answer his question, right? Tell him, hey, he said, why am I being, what is happening?
Abdullah agrees and says what happened to him never should have happened.
We can all be kind to one another. The golden rule is treat others how you want to be treated. So why you wouldn't want to be slammed on the ground? You wouldn't want to be treated like that. So why treat other people like that?
We reached out to the Charleston Police Department who performed the traffic stop for comment. So far, they have not responded.